What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today I'm reviewing Alien Earth, Season 1, Episode 5. It's a recap, so spoilers inherently are coming along. Anyway, this show still has audio description if you watch it on Hulu. Next day air, which is how I watch it, so I can make sure I get my accessibility that I need as a blind film critic. And we'll talk about Alien Earth. If you watched my previous Alien Earth videos, I love you. You may want to leave now. Uh, but stay and come back after this episode. I did not like this. I did not like this. Inherently, yes. I was actually really excited when I realized what the episode was. I was like, oh my God, we're going back to the original crew. Oh, this is going to be great. Unfortunately, all of these people are fucking idiots. This is the dumbest crew of people to have ever assembled. I don't know how they didn't all die. Like, my problem, if I ever sit down with Noah Hawley, is going to be like, you should have started this with this group of, if you're going to write these people this dumb, you have to start it with, we sustained massive casualties obtaining all of this stuff to begin with. We used to have a crew of 50 and now we're down to 15. You know, there are way too many people and they don't seem to have sustained any kind. Nobody's talking about like, oh man, we lost Ryan back there and it sucks. He was a good guy. No, somehow all of you watch the decisions that they're making, they seem very nonplussed by everything that's happening until like shit really hits the fan, or just, it's like a guy that's just like eating noodles. I mean, this is the dumbest alien crew ever in a movie. Like, no matter which version of Alien you had watched before, if you were like, well, the Alien 3 crew is not really memorable, you'd be like, this makes Alien Covenant crew look like they're like fucking, nuclear scientists, and just like, this makes like the casting of Danny McBride look like, oh my God, that man's a genius compared to this. Yeah, some of these characters and their decision making is so stupid, and they're like, is it that hard to contain the aliens? Is it really that hard to contain the aliens? Like, I mean, we've got like the little tick things are getting loose, and the eyeball alien thing is like, it's not that hard for him to get out of his containment unit. And Shabuzi can't do anything about it. She's like one of the most useless characters on the ship, and she just keeps like fucking around with the tiny little aliens, and it's just, I really did not like this episode. So we see the crew and everybody's fine, and we get to learn a little bit about them, but it doesn't matter because if you saw the first episode, you know everybody dies. But it's more about like the why of it all. Like, how did shit hit the fan? So we meet a host of people who are all going to die. What was the one kid? The one guy's name was, I was like, what is up with his acting choices? I love when you're in when you're in an episode and like you're only in it for a few minutes, but you decide to make like wild acting choices. What was his name? Like Lyle or something like that. There was one dude who was just like, every time he talked, he was like, yeah, you're not really understanding the problem, are you? You don't really know. You have no idea what it is that you're doing. I was like, slap him. Slap him. Slap him. You're not in the episode long enough to make strong character choices that make you obnoxious and hard to understand. Like, yeah, someone think you want to go with. What? I'm sorry, we created you to be killed off. So if you could speak up, please, that would be great. Neff, that guy, of course, gets killed because whatever. And there's there's a scene where he finds out like the captain. He's like, the captain's dead, and there was a note about him smirking, and I was like, ooh, he's going to be an evil one. He doesn't do shit. The guy doesn't do anything. In fact, the guy who did everything is barely in the episode, but we get a flash to him so that we know that boy genius, the prodigy, he had a little mole on the ship, and he paid some guy to get the ship to crash land in his neck of the woods so that he could claim what was on it, and so that Weyland-Yutani would not get it. So you just watch everybody get massacred in this. And they use all the aliens, like the face huggers were in there, and then there's like a chest burster, although chest bursting happens off screen, but there is one. There's just a reference to the fact that it happened. There's like I said, the little tick aliens do stuff. We still don't know what the hanging plant does. I love that thing still appears, and it's just like, what does it do? And I love that our guy Morrow, and now I can remember his name because he's so heavily featured in this episode, and he was the only one that was live. I was like, okay, Morrow, got it, Morrow. There was a little bit of an audio description glitch. There was a scene where they were all talking, and it said it was Morrow's the cyborg. I don't think there's another cyborg on the ship, but there was another character who supposedly slammed down their cyborg fist, but I'm pretty certain it was Morrow. So they said the wrong character's name, slammed down the cyber fist, which was unfortunate, but I don't know. We got to quality check these things. Whatever. Maybe there are two cyborgs. I don't think there are, but maybe there are. They weren't really specific about it in talking about it because everybody is, again, meant to die, which made it sort of interesting that we ever developed any of these characters. Like the one who ends up becoming captain, we learned that she has a backstory where she was, sleeping with the captain, and yet she's second in command. So she's having these flashback images to having sex with him. And then it shows like Morrow like watching them have sex over the cameras, which is why he knows about it. I'm like, none of this matters. She's going to die anyway. But thank you for giving me character development for a dead character. That's fun. So yeah, I would have liked this episode if there were characters to root for, but the only character that I thought was intelligent at all was the second in command, who ends up becoming the captain. Was the only character that I thought had a promise of anything in life. Some of these characters are just so fundamentally stupid. It's like watching, how people are bitching about the Lost Boys because they're kids, right? Walking around, so they act like kids. It's like watching them, but these guys aren't kids. These are grown adults. They're just really that dumb. So, not my favorite episode, but it could have been, it should have been, because I was so excited when the episode started and realized what it was. I was like, oh, thank God. Oh my God, this is going to be great. And then everybody was an idiot. So lots of bad choices, terrible choices, people just doing things and not really understanding the gravity of the situation that they're in. And I love they're worried, like Morrow's in his underwear. It's like, you have an alien loose on the ship. Who gives a shit? Like, he could be naked. I don't know. Go find the alien. Have priorities. Why are you eating noodles? Like, anyway, so yeah, Alien Earth. I don't know that this is, see, the good thing is that because I'm on Tomato Meter, that I'm not grading this like episodically anymore. I'm thinking about like the long-term grade for the series. And I was with Alien Earth, I was sort of like between, 8.5 and 9, and that's not really changing. So we're hovering in that around a 9, somewhere around in there. It could drop a little bit, I guess, but we'll see what happens. I like the show. I know a lot of people have problems with it, but it's taking risks. It's doing something different. Yeah, I don't I don't think it's silly, but until this episode. So, I mean, this episode shows me that Noah Hawley doesn't quite get it. More so, see, the Lost Boys, they get away with a lot because they are kids. So they just look like adults. So imagine if you had made an Alien series with kids where like your protagonists were all like a bunch of 10-year-olds. I mean, I don't think anybody would be complaining because it'd be a whole bunch of 10-year-olds trying to survive Alien and figuring out how to outsmart it or something like that, which is tough because Alien, I mean, taking down a lot of adults, but if you do it creatively enough, like Home Alone style, I mean, there's a way to do that. All they did is they put those 10-year-olds into stronger bodies, but that's basically what's happening. So it's a gamble. I think it's paying off. This episode doesn't pay off though. This episode has no payoff because it's a backstory for uninteresting characters who all die. And I was hoping for more. The one thing that you learn is the fact that that ship was always meant to crash land there. It wasn't an accident. And and then at the end, Morrow goes to Weyland-Yutani, and the granddaughter says, you know, the grandmother always spoke highly of him, and then she tells her, like, security guards, he gets whatever he wants so that he can go retrieve the assets. So there you go. So Alien Earth, that's it for me this week. I'll be back next week with Alien Earth episode 6, and we'll talk about that, and it can't possibly be the same thing, so it's automatically going to be better. I don't even know what's going to happen, and I know it's going to be better than this. So, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the other side.